Hi, welcome to the Delegation of Procurement Authority Training for Alliant to GWAC. My name is Lee Fan. I will be your instructor and provide you an overview of Alliant to GWAC. Let's look at the agenda today. We'll talk about the advantages of using Alliant to GWAC. We'll talk about scope, some contract information, labor categories, task order contract types, pricing, and the streamlined procedures of FAR Part 16.505, which governs Alliant to GWAC. And I will show you the tools that we have available at our website, as well as showing you how to request your delegation of procurement authority. So what is a GWAC? It is a government-wide acquisition contract. Is defined as a task order or delivery order contract for information technology. For Alliant to GWAC, the primary focus is on procuring IT services. Okay, there are some, we allow purchase IT equipment, but the primary focus is to provide IT services-based solution. Okay. This type of contract is established by one agency, which is GSA, for government-wide use. And it's operated by GSA, designated by OMB. When you use Alliant to GWAC, it is not subject to the Economy Act. That means that you don't have to provide any sort of justification to use the GWAC. Especially, it is specifically for IT procurement. For a more in-depth understanding of Alliant to contract vehicle, you can visit our website and review the ordering guide as well as the conformed copy of the contract. Let's talk about the advantages of using Alliant to GWAC. It is considered as best-in-class contract vehicle, and it's considered by OMB. So when you have an IT needs, you should look at these established contract vehicles. So Alliant to purpose is to provide your current and evolving IT needs on a global basis. It will provide a single platform across federal agencies for procuring complex IT services. You will have the maximum flexibility to create your most integrated IT solutions within a single task order. And you will also have, you can receive, your agency will be able to receive the small business credit at the subcontracting level. And we set up the Alliant to GWAC so that it will be easy to use and reduce your procurement lead time. Alliant to GWAC, it is governed by the FAR Part 16.505 within the FAR. So that means that there's a streamlined acquisition procedures that you use. You don't have to use the subpart, the FAR subpart 15.3 source selection. That means you don't have to, once you have received the proposals, you don't have to establish competitive range or things like that. Okay? You can streamline your acquisition procedures. You as a contracting officer will have a broad discretion in terms of developing your order placement procedure. And you don't have to synopsize or post your solicitation through beta.sam.gov. And if you look at the list of contractors within Alliant 2 vendor pool, you will find that they are the best contractors within the IT industry. The reason we select them is because we have, because they have extensive experience and past performance to successfully execute your task order. Also, you will have the ability to structure your task order with all contract types as well as hybrid. With Alliant 2, you are allowed to procure commercial and or non-commercial services. The FAR clauses within the master contract will automatically flow down to your task order. And you can incorporate additional provisions and clauses to your task order as you deem necessary. Within the basic contract, we do have the DFARS, DoD FAR supplement. We incorporate that, the provisions and clauses within the master contract. So it will flow down to your task order for those of you who are from DoD. We recommend that you attach the J-1, which has a list of all the provisions and clauses, the DFARS. Contractor engagement. This is a contract requirement. The purpose of the contract engagement is to encourage contractors to compete for the opportunities that are solicited under Alliant 2 GWAC. We want you, our contracting officer, to have robust competition. So on an annual basis, the contractors, Alliant 2 contractors, would have to submit X number of proposals, and they have to win X number of dollars, meaning they have to win those opportunities as well. So as you can see, they're not gonna, the 52 contractors, they're not gonna just sit back and, you know, they basically initially got on the contract, but they're not gonna be able to just sit back and not pursue the opportunities that you will solicit under Alliant 2 GWAC. For those contractors who are kind of complacent and they're not pursuing the opportunities, if they don't perform, they will be terminated. So they are incentivized to pursue the opportunities and to provide you robust competition. Interagency acquisition. So this is just for your reference. This is just definition. What is a requesting agency? What is a servicing agency? There are two types of acquisitions. One is direct acquisition. After today, you have completed the training. I will show you in terms of how to request for your delegation of procurement authority. Once you become an authorized user, you have full control of your acquisition from cradle to grave, from acquisition planning to soliciting, to awarding the task order, to administer it, and to close it out. You don't need any permission interference from us. Another type of acquisition is assisted acquisition. So because for some reason you don't have enough acquisition professionals, you are asking a servicing agency to conduct the acquisition on your behalf. And there's a fee associated with that. To issue task orders, you must complete this training. It is a delegation of procurement authority training. It is issued to individuals and it's not transferable. And this training is specifically for Alliant 2 only. So once you receive a delegation of procurement authority, it will be just for Alliant 2 only, not another contract vehicles. Typically, the contracting officer would have to take this training to become an authorized user. But we encourage other acquisition team members or stakeholders such as contract specialists, program, activity, or the core to take this training. So those team members will be able to help you successfully administer the task order. So the scope of Alliant 2 is to provide government agency with total integrated IT solutions and support services capable of addressing emerging technology as well as your business needs on a global scale. That means that Alliant 2 will allow all ancillary support services, supplies, construction, and alteration, as long as that they are integral and necessary to provide this total integrated solution. And Alliant 2 is able to not only meet your current IT needs, but also the emerging IT services in the future. When you don't have the workspace for the contractor employee, you will let them know that they have to work at their location. You cannot go ahead and lease a facility or workspace for the contractor employees. Indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, blanket purchase agreement, and letter contracts are not permissible order types because Alliant 2 GWAC is an IDIQ already. Fair opportunity consideration is required, and you can use optional contract line items to simulate like a blanket purchase agreement as long as all the contractors are provided fair opportunity at the initial solicitation. And if you have any questions in more details related to your requirements, you can come to us. We'll be able to help you structure the optional contract line items or CLINs. We offer to our customer scope review, pre-award scope review. We think this is a value-added service to our customers. It is at no cost to the agency, and there's no commitment. So when you have a requirement and you're not sure if Alliant 2 GWAC is the appropriate vehicle to support your requirement, please feel free to submit to us your PWS. It doesn't have to be a final PWS. It could be in a draft PWS. And we'll be able to provide you a written response within 5 business days as for the scope determination. And our team consists of technical contracting, a technical person as well as contracting professional that will be reviewing your PWS and provide you feedback. And you can submit your request here at the gsa.gov/GWAC scope review. This is what it looks like. You just need to fill out an online request form. Let's talk about the master contract here. The primary NACS code, it is 541512, Computer Systems Design Services. This is the code that we had to select at the initial award. There are other NACS code that is IT related, but when you award a task order and you have to enter the information into FPDS, you must enter this code. As for the product service code, that's your choice. You select the code that is most appropriate for your specific requirement. The program ceiling is $50 billion. The term of the master contract is basically 5-year base ordering period and 1 5-year option period. The base ordering period is from July 1st, 2018 through June 30, 2023. So currently we are in our base ordering period. Task order period of performance, the maximum order period is up to 10 years. This includes both base period and any other option periods. Orders may extend no more than 5 years beyond the expiration of the master contract. It means that on the very last day, June 30, 2028, you can still award a task order, and that task order can run it for 5 years. The base period of that, the period performance of that task order can be up to 5 years. There is a contract access fee to support our program. It is 0.75%. And there is a cap to it, meaning that the dollar threshold is $20 million annually. That means that if you have a requirement that exceeds the $20 million threshold, there's no associated fee beyond that $20 million threshold. And the contractor will monitor the cap or the ceiling, okay? And we ask that the fee be separated into a separate line item so that we'll be able to monitor it, and the contractor will monitor the fee so that after the $20 million invoice annually, you will not be charged any more fee. Contract types. We have a wide spectrum of contract types, from firm fixed price, cost reimbursement, time materials, labor hours, and also requirements contract type. And I will talk in more details about the requirements contract type. There's a minimum order threshold, $1 million. So if you have a requirement that is less than $1 million, we encourage you to go with 8A stars, another GWAC, or VETS too. Maximum order threshold, contractor are not required to honor an order in excess of $1 billion. Limitations on subcontracting, it's not applicable. Security clearances, the rates that you look at right now in our basic contract or master contract, that's the level of clearance is at secret level, okay? You as a contracting officer will have the flexibility to customize your security clearance, security requirement as you deem appropriate. But right now, all the Alliant 2 contractors would have, at a minimum, which is what we that they have to meet, is the secret level for security clearance. Small business credit. If you have subcontractor who is a small business subcontractor, your agency will get the credit. And keep in mind that Alliant 2, we do have a really aggressive small business subcontracting goal. It is 50%. Okay, so when the contractor has a subcontracting or a subcontractor who is a small business, you will get that credit for your agency, the small business credit. Protest, the limitation is $10 million in total value of the task order. So if you have a procurement that is under $10 million task order with the total value, meaning base period plus any option periods in total that is below $10 million, is not subject to protest unless it is not IT services. Number of GWAC holders, it is 52 contractors. Task order contracts, again, we have a wide spectrum of task order contracts. Let's talk about the requirements contract. This is something that is unique for Alliant 2. The purpose of having the requirements contract is specifically for government agency that anticipate recurring requirements but cannot predetermine the precise quantities during a definite period. What types of commercial item services can be procured under the master contract? There's a spectrum of them, right? The services could be cloud migration, storage, your basic IT help desk services, disaster recovery, managed services, even data center, right? Consolidating and migrating. Alliant can fully support any of these IT services. So the requirements contract is that you have to fill in actual purchase requirements, okay? You have to provide a realistic estimated total quantity, like not to exceed contract line item, okay? And each contract line item would have to link back to the defined scope, and all the items will be priced out, okay? It's just that you don't know the quantity, like the number of hours that you will need, but you do know that you need that type of IT services. So you can have multiple contract line items and they can link to the basic IT help desk, or it could be data migration. All of these IT services can be consolidated into one single task order. And if you have any questions in terms of this type of requirements contract, please feel free to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to support you on a contractual questions as well as technical questions. Keep in mind that once you have established pricing, there will be no subsequent discount, okay? You have to provide also the ordering period for the requirement task order, and it has to be limited to the ordering period of the master contract. So it cannot go beyond the master contract period performance. You have to provide initial fair opportunity to all Alliant 2 contractors. There will be no sub-orders. So what we mean fair opportunity is that we have 52 contractors, and you have to allow them to submit proposals if they choose to do so, and that they will all receive the solicitation, the notice. And we strongly advise you to avoid sole sourcing when you use the requirements contract type. Task order pricing, regardless of the contract type you use, you as a contracting officer must be able to determine price reasonableness. And when you have adequate price competition, you should be able to determine price reasonableness for that requirement, okay? And you cannot ask the contractor to provide you certified costing data, pricing data, if you already have adequate price competition. Cost reimbursement contract type. So cost type contracts require further consideration of cost allowability, allocability, and realism. This is per the FAR, and also you have to adhere to your agency policy as well. You must conduct cost realism. You want to look at the cost elements, making sure that they are realistic for the work to be performed. Contractors' technical proposals, within the technical proposals, must demonstrate a clear understanding of the requirements. There is analysis, cost realism analysis that you must perform. It is to help you determine the probable cost of performance. It's nothing new. It's not something that we made up in our basic contract. It came straight out from the FAR when you use cost reimbursement contract type. As for the time, material, and labor hour contract types, we do have maximum rates, right? And we consider them as burden rates, loaded hourly labor rates, okay? So they are already determined to be fair and reasonable at the master contract level. However, when you have a specific requirements, you're able to negotiate further to get the most competitive rates. And also, as an ordering contracting officer, procuring IT services at the task order level, you have to determine the rates to be fair and reasonable. Okay. Keep in mind, these rates are for time, materials, and labor hour contract types. They are not for firm fixed price contract type or cost reimbursement contract type. Again, this is what I mentioned before, is that ordering agency will perform their own determination of fair and reasonable pricing for each task order as they award the task order. And as I mentioned, the loaded hourly labor rates already factor in the secret level of security clearance. If you want something that is higher level than secret, typically the contractor will submit a higher loaded hourly labor rates because of the higher level of clearance that you require from your agency. As I talked about before, keep in mind that you cannot compare this loaded hourly labor rates to the cost reimbursement or fixed price order. Okay? Again, the task order ceiling or fixed rates will not change the contractor maximum rates in the master contract. Ordering under FAR Part 16.505. Fair opportunity. Ordering contracting officer must provide each awardee a fair opportunity to be considered for each order exceeding $3,500 unless a statutory exception is invoked. So this is specifically for the statutory exception is for sole sourcing. So if you decide to sole source your requirements, you have to provide certain justification. And again, this is written justification and approval for sole sourcing or exceptions to fair opportunity. There's also the posting requirement for orders above simplified acquisition threshold. This came straight out of the FAR. You as a contracting officer may exercise broad discretion in developing appropriate order placement procedures for your solicitation. You can have oral proposals. You can also have multi-phase approach as well, or any other methodology as you deem appropriate, as long as you afford fair opportunity to all the 52 contracts. Under FAR Part 16.505, it's a streamlined ordering method. Okay, you want to keep your requirements to a minimum. You don't have to adhere to the subpart 15.3. There's no posting requirements. You don't have to establish competitive range at all. Okay, you just want to make sure that you provide fair opportunity under the FAR Part 16.505. And you want to identify the evaluation factors, the relative importance of those factors. Task orders exceeding $5.5 million, you must have a clear statement of your agency requirements, a reasonable response period. This really depends on the complexity of your IT requirement. You have to disclose the evaluating factors and its relative importance, and you have to provide the basis of your award. Is it best value or something else? And then lastly, you want to provide an opportunity for post-award debriefing. Let's talk about the clauses from the master contract. They will flow down to the task order, okay? But you can add other clauses or provisions from your agency. Post-award. So you have to provide debriefings to the unsuccessful awardees. When it comes to protests, you have to handle that protest because you're the contracting officer that evaluate and award the task order. Okay. You also have to report your task order award and modification into FPDS. Also, we would like to get a copy of the task order award and subsequent modifications. We encourage you to do evaluation on the contractor's performance, and you can enter that information in, through CPARS. Task order closeout. This is your responsibility from cradle to grave, right? As a contracting officer. We want to remind you that you must receive a release of claims before you close out the task order. Tools for ordering offices. So we have two options for you to post your solicitation. One is through eBuy. I'm sure a lot of you know about eBuy, and you have used GSA schedules before. So you can post the solicitation through eBuy. You go to eBuy, you look up Alliant 2 GWAC, and you will find a list of 52 contractors, and you click all and you post your solicitation or your RFQs. Another option is post your solicitation through Alliant 2 awardees at gsa.gov. This is unique specifically for Alliant 2 GWAC. You can post your solicitation, your RFP, RFQs, even RFIs through Alliant 2 awardees at gsa.gov. You can also post questions, capability questions. If you want to procure some requirements that is kind of leading edge technology, and you don't know if Alliant 2 contractors have the capability to support this leading edge technology, you can post your question through Alliant 2 awardees at gsa.gov. And you ask them, it can be informal, Go to our website. We do have our ordering guide as well as the conform contract, pricing, time, materials, labor hours, pricing, also scope compatibility review request information, statement of work examples. These are the examples the real examples that have successfully executed under Alliant 2 GWAC. Also, we have the GWAC dashboard. In addition to that, we do have the acquisition gateway. This is very useful. Within the gateway, you will find Solutions Finder acquisition tool. This is a great tool for contracting officer because there's so many established contract vehicles out there. All you have to do is, let's say you have a cybersecurity requirement. You use this tool, you open the tool, you type in the keyword cybersecurity, and you will find that it will provide you, the tool will provide you a list of established contract vehicles within the government, not only GSA contract vehicles, but other agency contract vehicles out there that can support your cybersecurity requirement. It's a great tool. There's also prices paid information. We have compiled actual prices paid by the government, and the pricing that we extracted from was Alliant. Okay, it ran for 10 years. So we have extensive actual prices paid information. That's really helpful in terms of establishing your baseline for negotiation, or you have a new requirement, you don't have historical data, you want to know what is a software engineer cost. I mean, and you can do that, and it will give you, the software engineer, it will give you a range in loaded hourly range. And you can filter also by agency as well. You want to know what DoD paid for software engineer. You want to know what Department of Labor actually paid for software engineer. It's a great tool for you. It's just like if you were to buy a car, you go to a dealership, you see the sticker price, for a car for $12,000, but when people walk out of that dealership, they actually paid only $9,000 for that car. So this is a really great information for you. We also have articles that may be useful for market research, as well as an interactive community to share your thoughts and information. Again, we have GSA customer service directors that can assist you for further training or any information. This is what it looks like. So for further assistance, we're here to help you with regards to pre-award scope reviews, advice assistance on master contract matters such as the technical as well as contractual. And like I said, we're here to support you, whether it's market research or actual requirements that you want to post out, the solicitation and using Alliant to GWAC. Okay, so next step, now that you're done with the training, next step is to request for your delegation of procurement authority. So you go to gsa.gov/GWACs. Under the heading, how to use GWACs, you click on request a delegation of procurement authority. Fill in the online form and click submit button. Within 72 hours, you will get that memorandum of agreement. Now you're officially an authorized user of Alliant to GWAC. So this is what it looks like when you go to the how to use GWAC website. And this is request for a GWAC delegation of procurement authority training. I'm sorry, procurement authority, yep. Yeah, so to become an authorized user, okay? So my name is Lee Fan. I'm a GSA contracting officer. If you have any additional questions, please contact our office. We're more than happy to help you again with the market research. What's the best established contract vehicle out there for your specific requirements? And we can help you not only market research, as well as answer your contractual or technical questions that you may have. Thank you for attending this training. I hope you have a wonderful day.